fireworks are about to blast off. In the month of July, we're getting ready for a brand new trading month, 22 trading days. I know you are excited, and in this video, I'm going to get you ready for the most important dates, inflation reports, Fed rate decision, Fed pressures, earnings, everything you need to know to crush July. Check it out. Happy 4th of July, traders and investors, and let's get ready for a brand new month in the market. As you can see, this is the best month of the third quarter. We are going to have 22 trading days at our disposal, and it's going to be fun. And just as a reminder, the market is closed this Friday in observance of the 4th of July. And from me to you, happy 4th of July. I hope it is a relaxing and fun time with your family and friends. But let's go ahead and jump into the calendar to get you ready for what to expect this month, what we're looking at in terms of sentiment, when the big dates are related to the market. And as you can see here, on the 1st of July, we do have bullish sentiment. In fact, just to point this out, the first half of July tends to be bullish. And you could just see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days that are of bullish sentiment before we flip that fung. We can get our first bearish sentiment day, but we'll talk more about that here in a moment. So keep that in mind, because typically what happens once you get to the second half of July and once you get into August, you hit that seasonal weakness period, especially in August, September, and October. And October is typically where the worst of it occurs, but that is where bear markets bottoms, corrections bottom. So keep that in mind for October. You can see here on Wednesday, we get ISM manufacturing PMI, but it's on Thursday where we get our biggest data points early on in July. That's going to be non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. And why is that important? It's because the one hope that traders have out there for rate cuts is that the labor market is weakening, which I know when you hear that, you're like, that doesn't make sense. Why would they want the labor market to weaken? If it is weakening, then they can make a justification for cutting rates. But for now, because inflation is higher and hotter, and because the labor market looks pretty resilient, it looks like there are rate hikes on the table. And again, we are closed on Friday. So if we hop over to the first full week of trading in July, you could see that Monday, we kick it off with another bullish sentiment day, along with ISM services PMI. And then on Wednesday, July 8th, we are going to get our first set of minutes from the FOMC meeting under Kevin Warsh. So that will be something that traders will be parsing through to see what type of comments were made there, if they're hawkish, and just to see if there are any differences between the Powell-led Fed and the Warsh-led Fed, which there certainly are, as evidenced by his presser there back in June, when I just so ironically lost my power. And then we go over here to the 9th, bullish sentiment. We get existing home sales data, and then we finish out the week with more bullish sentiment. So not a lot of data coming that second week of July. But when we head to the third week of July, the middle, this is going to be the turning point. This is the big week. Here's why. Because we get to kick off a brand new round of earnings. We are going to get the big banks reporting here on Monday and Tuesday. And yes, we have 2 consecutive days of bullish sentiment. But notice, on Tuesday the 14th, we get our first inflation report, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, followed by PPI on Wednesday, the Producer Price Index. So back-to-back inflation reports, if they come in hotter, you know what's going to happen. They're going to sell this market down. So just be prepared for that. On the 16th, we get retail sales, and one of the first earnings reports that I am excited to see, that is Netflix. They will be reporting at market close on the 16th, and they have been beaten up. They are filling gaps below, and it seems like with the technology trade, the AI trade running, Netflix is taking a back seat and is functioning more as a safety defensive type ticker. So let's see if this picks up flows here if technology begins to show some weakness. And then we close out the week with a jam-packed day, more bullish sentiment, but we get OPEX, options expiration, building permits, housing starts, and Michigan consumer sentiment. So that's the busiest week of July, but it doesn't end there. because we get a nice little break the following week. On the 20th, we have bullish sentiment, followed by our first bearish sentiment day on the 21st. And then you can see that we're pretty freed up here the 22nd through 24th. But keep in mind, we will have some of the big boys reporting here. Tesla, while they are not confirmed when their date of reporting their earnings is, it could be between the 22nd and 23rd. So keep an eye on that. And we also have the other mags, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Google. They will be reporting, some of them will be reporting somewhere in this window, so just keep an eye open for that. And then when we go to the final week of July, we have durable goods on Monday. And notice this, here on Wednesday, we get a bearish sentiment day that just so happens to align with the Fed rate decision and our next Kevin Warsh presser. And yes, I will be live streaming this one as long as my power doesn't go out. So this is going to be a big day. And then the 30th, we get a bullish sentiment day, and this one is loaded too. GDP, PCE, personal income, personal spending, and then we close it out with an empty day-to-day there on Friday. So you can see this is a jam-packed month. Note that this is the best month of the third quarter, and get ready for the seasonal weakness that is coming. August typically is a month for the bears, as is September and October. So bulls, this might be your last chance. So there you have it. July starts strong, but then weakens and it kicks into the weakest part seasonally of the year, which is August, September, and October. So bulls, lock in your gains now, because we could be headed for the downside here as we move along. And let me know in the comments below, will July end up being a bullish month, or will the seasonal weakness start early? And if you're interested in learning how to trade, how to invest, check out the Wealth Accelerator. That is linked in the description. Make it a great day. Honor the moment. Most importantly, be grateful. Take care.
Oh yeah.